to the Loading Up Podcast. Yeah.
Welcome back to the Loading Up Podcast. I am your host, Producer Jay, along with both of my co-hosts, Brother Zay
Yo,
and Brother Zay.
yo, what's up?
What's up, man? How you guys been?
Tired. Very tired.
Yeah, I think we're all pretty tired. It's been a long night or long Saturday night that we had here in New York, but that's neither here nor there. We don't gotta talk about that. Before we get into all the stuff we got going on this week, we just want to remind you that if you're watching us on YouTube, you can like, comment, and subscribe. If you're listening to us on a podcasting app, you can share us and rate us and do all that nice stuff. If you look in the description, you can see our sponsors, W Energy and NordVPN. You can use our links to save some money and off of products and subscriptions. And if you support them, they'll support us. We thank them. We thank you. That's it. Without further ado, Brother Tay, let's start with you. What have you been playing?
Oh my god. What have I been playing? Actually, it's fucking blacked out. I think I've been mostly playing some TFT, some Teamfight Tactics. I actually got to Emerald at the end of this week,
Nice.
so we're past the platinum. We're going to higher levels again to be annoying. I
Is it
think
like a
that's
team-based thing?
it's kind it's pretty much League of Legends, just like chess in a way. You just try to build teams based on like what their traits are,
Yeah.
and just try to make strong teams. That's it. So it is
Oh,
just
okay.
it is a pretty much a very strategy game, and you get 60 seconds to make it work.
I got you.
Yeah, so keeps the brain going. I was gonna say, what was the last thing I actually played console? I think it was Fall Guys actually.
Fall Guys? Oh, I haven't
Yeah,
played that in a while.
I just felt that my girlfriend loves that game, so sometimes we'll just play it together just to watch, just so she gets annoyed with me because like she'll struggle on some maps and I'll just fly through it in 10 seconds.
That's usually the case, though.
Yes.
I would suggest don't play any of like the It Takes Two or um
Not this will
uh
be good at It Takes Two. It'll be fine.
you think so? Well, we'll see.
At
You
least
should try
I
it then.
at least I'll have a fun time watching.
um Brother Zay, what have you been playing?
I've been playing some Forza Horizon 6. I've been knee deep in that, as well as if you're watching on YouTube, it's 007 First Light, which I've beaten. I get some new gameplay, some like the opening footage for you guys. But it was a great game. I really loved it. I want more of it. I know the tactical missions in there give you more, but like I want more story, you know? And they're coming out with DLC story, so I can't wait for that to drop. And then of course I'll play some Call of Duty, some Rocket League here and there, you know, my usual games, my multiplayer games that I play. But yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Nice, nice.
And what have you been playing? What have you been getting into?
With
So, all right.
destruction.
So before I go into what I've been playing, I have a bit of an axe to grind
Uh-oh.
because if you've listened for the past, I'm gonna say like few months,
Oh,
I've basically been saying the same thing. I feel like I've been a broken record, saying I've been playing the same game, Kingdom Hearts. Been playing through that, doing the hardest difficulty on all the games. I only got through 2 of them. I finally got to the 3rd game, and I felt so accomplished, and I was really excited to continue, and I'm still gonna continue. Um, and getting a little bit of ahead of ourselves. I was watching the Nintendo Direct and saw that they are re-releasing the collection for Switch 2. And also, weirdly enough, Switch 1, which it wasn't available natively. It was the cloud version. I don't know why they dragged their feet on that one, but anyway, that's not what I'm talking about. So, at first glance, you would think I'm a big fan of Kingdom Hearts, and I was excited that they announced not only that, but they also announced Kingdom Hearts 4. Or not announced it, but showed more of it. But as time went on, panic started to set in because I was trying to confirm if this was an upgrade to the current collection or if this is an entirely new collection altogether. And it turns out that this is a new collection that you have to rebuy again and play through again with a whole separate set of achievements. And that's when I started to get pissed off. Because why would you do this, right? I mean, granted, they don't know. I just started doing the playthrough of Kingdom Hearts on the hardest difficulty. I spent months playing these games on the hardest difficulty. Grinding, spending, what was it, like 100 and something hours on one game. Just grinding. Because of the freaking RNG mechanics in it. And they announce a new collection that's going to basically reset everything. And it won't carry over anything.
Better get to work.
I cannot. I am so upset. Like, you have no idea. I was so excited. It went from like the highest of highs to the lowest of lows in like less
20
than 20
seconds.
minutes.
Yep.
In record time. Because and what gets me is that they said in the direct that if you own the cloud version of the Switch 1 games, that that save will transfer to the Switch 2 version. So I'm thinking, oh, that must be the case with the other ones too. No, it's not the case. I don't know why, because it's Square Enix. That's why. They don't give a shit. They just do whatever. And one of the thing, and the reason you could say, oh, it's just a different version. You already have the versions. Like, just play that one. One of the benefits of this new version is that it supports Play Anywhere. So I get the PC version and the Xbox version. So that way I don't have to, but what I've been doing is playing on the cloud. And while it's good, it has hiccups. It's not full quality. So like I'm basically like sacrificing some quality to in order to play it. And because it's through cloud, the latency that is required to like hit the combos on a perfect time, especially on the hardest difficulty, it can lead to issues. I'll put it that way. So having a native version on PC would have been beneficial. It is beneficial. So that's why I would like to have this version. But no, it is not transferable. The save is not transferable, at least from what I can tell. And I'm super upset about it. The good thing is that you get it at a discount because I think the collection's like $80, but you get it at like a 50% discount if you already bought the games prior. So I guess that's something, even though it probably should have been free, but whatever. Yeah. So as of right now, I'm issuing a moratorium on my playthrough of Kingdom Hearts games until further notice, until they can confirm that saves are transferable, or until the games comes out and I have to freaking restart the shit.
Get ready to restart it.
Let's
Oh
go.
I'm so upset, man. You have no idea.
You know damn well Square Enix is not gonna allow
I-
like those saves to come
I
over.
know.
You
They
know?
want you to buy it again. They want
Yeah,
you to do it
100%.
again. And what got me too, people were excited about that. They was like, oh, I can't wait to replay this and get all the achievements again. I was like, why would you want to do that to yourself?
They enjoyed it. They enjoyed the nonsense. It gives people something to do.
People
It's
like grinding.
It's an escape from their reality.
I guess. It's just very bad timing on my part. I really chose a really bad time to play through the series, and now I gotta stop just because there's no point in me continuing until these games comes out.
Yep.
But yeah, that's it. No, I've also been playing because of the Xbox showcase which we live streamed. It brought me back to like high school days. I started listening to the music that I was listening to back then, and it just got me in the mood. And I started playing Gears 5 again because I
Ooh.
actually never completed it. And there's a reason for it. I I don't know why I thought I wanted to do this back then, but I was playing it on Insanity. I knew I wasn't gonna get all the achievements anyway, so it's
But
like,
you were
why am I
trying.
even why was I doing that to myself? So, yeah, so I turned down the difficulty to normal, and now I'm playing through it again, and I miss Gears, man. I don't know why, like, I stopped. I should have been well, I know why I stopped. It was freaking sweats online, but the story mode, I don't know why I stopped. I should have continued. I should have kept playing, but I'm super excited for Gears, so yeah, that's the main thing I've been playing. I've been playing a lot of Gears. I was actually farther along than I thought. I was in Act 2, like, was it Act 2, Chapter 4, I think?
For
Mhm.
Gears?
Yeah, for Gears 5.
Hmm.
It's
But
not that far in, considering.
shut up.
Damn. Stop
Let
ruining
me
my
have
fun, bro.
it, man.
Yeah, those are that was the let me have this. Come on, why? Like, what's the hate?
I so did not expect that. That was funny.
Oh
It
man,
was
but yeah,
so quick.
that's what I've been playing.
Oh man, it's good that you're going back to Gears though. The story is fantastic. I can't wait to get into E Days, so it's good.
We don't have long to wait. The beta's coming soon, which we'll talk more about. So
Yeah. I guess, I mean, do we jump straight in? We got a lot to talk about. We have
yeah,
several showcases that we live streamed the Xbox showcase, but past week we had so many different shows. We have a lot of showcases, State of Play, Summer Games Fest, Xbox showcase that we live streamed on Sunday, and then out of nowhere, Nintendo's like, "Hey, we got a direct." So they did their own showcase, and it was a lot to talk about, a lot to get into. Let's start with the first showcase of the season, which was the State of Play. And State of Play started off strong, showing Marvel's Wolverine. I got to show, I think it was like 10 minutes of gameplay, showing exactly like the world that they're building and what's going on. A lot of blood, a lot of gore. It looked really good. Definitely exciting times to at least start off. We get to see what Marvel's Wolverine is outside of the leaks. Because we all saw the leaks a couple years ago, and it was something. But you get to see some sort of final finished product that they've been working on. So, yeah, we got to see starting off with the Wolverine.
okay. I'm gonna just say it.
I know what.
That State of Play was just ass. Like, I honestly, I know Sony doesn't have a lot going for them. I don't want to say they don't have a lot. Like, in terms of like first party,
Mhm.
we already knew about Wolverine. The big surprise was God of War Laufey. So, and granted, I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to it. I love the God of War games. I'm super into the lore, and I'm definitely gonna get this game. But
But
what got me was it was a very stark reminder of how much Sony is playing it safe now. Like, they are essentially resting on their laurels and just putting out what they know will get attention, I guess, or what they know will sell. Because they turned Insomniac, which was a powerhouse in like creative video games and like platformers and all this that, and they were versatile. They can make um they're the ones who made Resistance, right?
I
I'm not mistaken, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, Resistance Fall of Man. Um, yeah, so like they're capable of doing a variety of things. They did Ratchet and Clank, Sunset Overdrive, and then the Spider-Man games came out. And then ever since then, like they've just been the Spider-Man developers. But then that wasn't enough, so they turned them into the Marvel developers. We saw the leak. Wolverine is just one part of like this Marvel universe that they're building, which is I mean, based off of what the story of Wolverine is gonna be, is probably not the greatest Marvel universe because the X-Men don't even exist in it. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah,
I don't
it's
want
just
to. I don't want to hear that. It's X Team. That's the X-Men.
X team. No, it's
You know,
just
trademarks get in the way sometimes. You know, is what it
should,
is.
I mean, maybe they have another X-Men game being developed by somebody else. So
Oh, maybe.
could be.
Or maybe they were just being woke and wanted to get rid of the men.
They don't want to have it be men, X-Men,
It's
and
time
they
for
couldn't
agenda to strike. Sick of these men.
they couldn't call them X people.
Ex individuals. Must fact.
They could have called them X them. Look at that.
Okay. All right.
Oh man.
Hey,
All
it's
right.
time for the revolution.
But yeah, so it's just, and then they go to like the God of War stuff, which is, I mean, that's great, but it's like, do you have anything else? Like, I know they showed Intergalactic and they just released Soros, but even Soros is basically just Returnal, but like a reskinned Returnal. And then Intergalactic, which we don't know anything about. We just saw a trailer, which is like advertisement the game. At least that's what the trailer looked like. I don't know. Like it just feels like they're playing it safe, and maybe it's to their benefit. They know what sells. They know what people are interested in. So why not focus on that? And then they're losing a bunch of third-party exclusives that they used to market, like including Final Fantasy, which just got announced releasing multi-platform day one on all platforms. That's good. That's great. But Sony's not benefiting from that. That's why a lot of people were like upset that it wasn't at the state of play. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. For what they showed, I would give it like I want to say 7, being very generous.
That's being very generous.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
because
would
the
give it a
only two
7.
games that they had was God of War and and Wolverine. Everything else is multi-platform. And sure, we got to see. I think we got to see almost all of that in other showcases or just other places. You know, it was nothing new. You know, besides
Well,
the God of War
they had Until Dawn 2, which I mean, I guess that
multi-plat.
is it multiplat?
It was.
Yeah.
But Until Dawn has always
Well, the first one was, but Until Dawn 2, I think, is
the
only
first. No. The first one was the first one was exclusive and then converted into multi-platform. But I think this one is just multi-platform in general.
Is it?
No, no, I'm looking now. It says it is a console exclusive.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
See?
Yeah.
Well, but even
for them.
then, like that's
But nobody buys freaking PlayStation 5s for fucking
for
Until Dawn.
Yeah, it was like a nice game to have if you already had one, but I don't think people are gonna buy it for it.
Yeah.
Especially they have other games like the Dark Pictures anthology, like they
Yeah.
already got a. Honestly, I'm kind of like tired of them because I played a few of them with my wife, and it's like after a while you get kind of bored with that formula. Like you kind of need a break from it. So I guess if you're a fan of them, that's great. And I'm trying to think of what else they showed. I guess they had the Silent Hill game, but I mean
they showed Control, they showed the Stuntman game, the Ace Combat, they showed Onimusha, they showed Dune Awakening, Phantom Blade Zero.
it was a lot of
the Tomb Raider. Basically everything was multiplayer.
third party, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too, and that's what I don't understand why people don't view the state of plays in the same light that I do. Like when I watch a PlayStation state of play, I want to hear about PlayStation games, whether it be exclusive or whatever. I want to hear about what they're working on. The third party stuff is great, but my focus is on the first party content, and that's for Nintendo. That's for Xbox. I want to see the first party content. That's why I watch those shows. Otherwise, I can tune into Summer Games Fest because that's a third party show. That's for all platforms. But yeah, and a lot of people don't look at it like that. They look at it as like a whole thing. And then great, that's fine if that's what you graded on, but I graded on that. And based off of that criteria, it was ass.
I mean, then it wouldn't be a 7. for me at least. The state of play was, I mean, I've seen what Wolverine had to offer before. Lafayette looks good considering the lore that they're working with. Other than that, everything else is multiplied, and we've seen a lot of stuff already about all the games they've shown. So it's more like, meh, it was all right. I'd give it at least a 6, and most of that is for God of War.
Yeah. I mean, I am excited for Wolverine as well. I don't know if it's a day one for me anymore. I
No, it's
thought it
not.
would be, but I don't think it's day one anymore.
I'm gonna
That-
just
it
I'm gonna just
sucks.
wait for the re-release on when they release it for PS6, and then it just goes everywhere on
Yeah.
PC and stuff cheaper. That's it. I'll wait for that. It's
There you
not
go.
something I'm super excited to wait to play right now.
Right.
I mean, that's just me. I know people are excited for it, but it looks okay.
There's no reason for it. I get it.
Yeah.
Um, I here's the thing, since I'll try my best to pay attention to what goes on, I'm actually producer Jay, you are much more friendlier to it than me and Bros are gonna be, because I would give it a 5.5 if anything.
Oh, damn. Then maybe I'm just
Yeah.
being very generous.
You are very generous, but like in a sense of it, like what was other than like Wolverine, Until Dawn 2 and God of War, everything else wasn't really that noteworthy, to tell you the truth.
That's true.
And then also just on the idea of like a lot of people were all excited for like a lot of people were excited for God of War, and then everyone else was like, "Oh, women,"
Yeah. That honestly,
which is dumb. Which is dumb on its
yeah,
own right.
that makes me laugh because that's not even close to being like part of the criticism I have of the game.
Yeah,
It just looks the same. Like that was my main takeaway from God of War Lao Fei. Like
it does look like the well, technically it is supposed to be God of War, but it
it
looks
looks
like
like
the
it could have
same.
been a DLC.
Probably should have been.
It probably should have been, but that's
You
what
know
it
what
looks like.
You know what I think God of War Lafay is? I think it's the devs at Santa Monica really trying to uh get used to the aerial combat for when they go into full development
All
for the
right.
Greek
The
God of
God
War
of
1,
War
2, and 3.
trilogy, yeah.
Yeah. So I think the aerial combat and God of War Lafay will give them a better edge on how to redevelop for God of War 1, 2, and 3 for the PS5.
Okay.
That's probably true. Yeah. But and there is talk that this is because what's his name? The creative director for the first two, well not the first two, but the last two God of War games,
Uh-huh.
Cory Barlog, he's not the creative director of this game. It's somebody else. And supposedly people are taking that as a sign that he might be working on something different because we did hear rumors that he was working on something else that was supposed to be sci-fi themed. But we obviously didn't see that. So maybe that's a little bit more like further along that like we'll hear about that later, but maybe we might see that next year. And I hope so because I would like to see something different from Santa Monica Studio.
Yeah, I doubt that.
Oh well, we'll
Okay.
see.
You can hope. Well, you can hope. I appreciate your dreams.
Thank you.
All right, I guess we'll just move on to the next showcase that was out for the week was Summer Game Fest, which was surprisingly really good.
Very good.
I like the summer Game Fest. I thought they did a great job this year. It's usually not that great. Usually like around a 6, maybe a 7, but I give it a solid 8.
Yeah.
They showed some great games. I don't know if anybody watched it, but if you did, it would showcase the final remake part 3 for Final Fantasy 7. They showcased not Code Veronica, but Veronica, Resident Evil Veronica. They showed Stellar Blade Blood Rain. They showed so many other games. It's ridiculous the amount of games that came out, including DLCs. We got Among Us Story. We got a more in-depth look on Blood of Dawnwalker. We have some gameplay footage for Star Wars Zero Company, which just plays like XCOM. We got to see some expansions from Monster Hunters for the Mafia, the Old Country. We got to see some great games. Like, I mean, it does look good. I don't know if I'll play or buy it, but Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin um, is being created over by Paramount Games. We got to see a ton of stuff. The biggest reveals, I think, were the Resident Evil Veronica. That was like a really big thing. And then, of course, Alien Isolation 2 was also shown, which had a great response from the crowd. People really love that Alien Isolation game. So, I mean, overall, I think Summer Game Fest was an 8. They showed some great things. They had some great videos, and the vibes at the showcase were really good. The only negative I have about the showcase is that for a multi-million-dollar production, their streams was terrible.
Oh yeah, they had
It
like
was
delays. The
yeah, it
quality
was
was
so
like
bad.
dipping. Yeah.
Yes.
Oof.
It was so bad. It was out of sync. The audio was out of sync. I thought it was my player. I had to keep refreshing. I was like, oh my God, this is terrible. Kind of find out everybody was like that because the stream was all messed up. They really need to do better. Like for a multi-million-dollar production, they got to do better.
Yeah. I for what Summer Games Fest is supposed to be. Let's be real. It's supposed to be the replacement for the E3 shows, or at least it's supposed to give off the same vibes. And I felt like every year Jeff Keighley would always hype it up and always say, "Oh, this is the greatest thing, the best show I've ever done," and this and that. And then when it happens, it's like, okay, it's all right, but it was like the majority of it was like indie games that nobody really cared about. And not to shit on those indie games, I mean, but if you're gonna be a big show like that, you got to have more like kind of, I guess, star power. But yeah, I felt like this year was the first time where it was like, actually, it was a good show. Like, he actually lived up to expectations. Well, granted, maybe my expectations were low, so that's why when it actually ended up being pretty good, I was like, "Oh, wow, this is great."
True.
Um, but based on what they showed, they actually showed games that are not only interesting, but are significant. And like you said, with the Resident Evil games, which honestly, I Capcom is on a whole different freaking level.
Oh
I don't know how they're doing it. In the past decade, they've released 6 Resident Evil games, some remakes, some new, and they have another one coming next year. Like, how are they doing this? Like, I don't understand. And they're all great quality. They perform well, and they're like fan favorites. People are highly receptive to it. Like, I don't know how they're doing this. It's like magic.
I would say you gotta remember because before we got to the pandemic, remember Capcom was on that terrible slope
That's true.
where
That
like
is true.
anything they made, everyone was like, "Oh my God, here we go again with Capcom." This terrible. So
Yeah.
this was like very slow decade rebuild, and now every game they released since I want to say since Resident Evil 7
Yes.
has been spectacular. So
Yeah.
whatever. So we got to see their downfall and their rise within this timeline. So this has been great.
Yeah, no, it's really good to see, and I'm so happy that they've kind of come back from it, from the doldrums that they used to be in. Because I remember there was a time where people wanted like Capcom to like get bought out, and I was like, oh, that'll be bad.
I remember
But
that too.
yeah,
I was like,
now,
when's PlayStation gonna buy this? Because this is ass.
well, I mean, now we don't have to. At least I hope we don't have to worry about that. But yeah, no, they've been on a roll, and yeah, no, they showed a bunch of other games there. I can't think of off the top of my head. The one that I'm super interested in is the I think it's called like it's like a year. It's made by the
Oh,
creator of
the
Assassin's Creed.
yeah, is it 1860 something?
Yeah,
It's 1666 Amsterdam.
yes, that one looks
Yes.
very interesting. I like the concept. And this is what I'm talking about. It's like it still looks quality, it looks high quality, it looks like a AAA game, but it's doing something different. And that's what I want out of games. Well, out of like new games. Obviously if you're a fan of a franchise or whatever, then you do something similar, but like I'm liking this. I'm liking that they did this. And then they obviously they he took the criticisms of what was it? the Game Awards last year, and made sure that the closing game was actually something people cared about. Which I
Yeah.
mean, granted, I'm not the biggest Final Fantasy fan, but at least he listened and people were excited for it. So,
I mean, Final Fantasy sells, you
yes,
know,
yeah,
and then people been waiting how long for this part to come out? So people were going to be excited no matter what, no matter who released it. I'm glad it was released at the Summer Games Fest, making it, just pushing the Summer Game Fest even higher,
yeah.
at least on the scale of,
And
like the showcases being great.
And one thing I did appreciate, which I don't know if maybe this was something that he also took feedback on, was like there was a lot less campiness. Like, he likes to do his skits and do the Muppets and stuff like that. I didn't see any of that.
I think he reserves that for
The Game Awards?
the Game Awards.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of streamlining the Summer Game Fest because I mean the show was long. It was like
It was pretty long.
3 hours long. They had a lot of stuff, indie stuff that they showcased, and all these other things that. I think the actual show where they showed just the main world reveals were only like an hour, maybe hour and a half, but then everything else because it went long even longer. Were just like indie stuff that they showed, which were still pretty cool, but it was just like okay,
Yeah.
you
And
know.
and I will say there was a lot less anime games this time around. I feel like
What's-
every showcase, every Summer Games Fest and State of Play, whatever, always gotta have those anime games.
I need
I
you to
didn't
leave
see-
the anime games alone, all right?
My word, it's not hurting me, brother.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Listen, if there's like 3 anime games on a show, then I consider that a win.
what is with you and the hatred of anime games?
There's too many of them. That's my hatred. Why do you keep doing the same gotcha anime games? Like they all look the same.
Racist?
Yeah,
I
definitely. Definitely.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. Let's move on.
You're the
to
one who
X-
said it.
Let's move on to the Xbox Game Showcase for 2026. If you watched with us, we live streamed our reactions to the showcase. We knew it was going to be a big one because we had the E-Day Direct after the showcase, but Xbox decided to start out with the showcase opening up with E-Day, the trailer, and it was, I would like to say, phenomenal. I'm super, super excited. So excited, I went and purchased the collector's edition of the game already. That is correct. Spent nearly $400 on the game. Probably going to spend more for myself later. So, yeah, that game looks fantastic. They showed so many games, though. So many reveals. We got to see a trailer for Fable, a new trailer that made me even more excited for Fable. We got to see some campaign evolve from Halo, a new Spyro game, State of Decay 3 was showcased, a new game from Hellblade. Well, not really Hellblade, it's just called Senua. We
Yeah.
got the reveal of Persona 4 Revival as well as Persona 6 coming day one to Game Pass. Huge. I don't know if
that was a fake out. Like I remember when I was watching, I was like, "What is this? A horror game?" And then it just said
Yeah.
Persona 6. I was like, "What?"
Well,
Okay.
Persona games usually are dark. They have a lot of dark themes in the Persona games, and they've
do.
always been PlayStation exclusives. You never find them anywhere. Now, the best place to play any Persona game would be on Xbox. They're all on Game Pass right now, and they're coming out day one on Game Pass for Persona 6. It's a whole big turnaround. I really like the fact that they're focusing heavy on some of the foreign studios. We're talking about the Japanese and Chinese studios bringing games over to Xbox. It's definitely a big win. We got to see Valor Mortis, some stuff, unfortunately, for Fallout 76. We got to see a little trailer for Crazy Taxi World Tour. We got to see this game called Magicians, which looked
that one.
very surprising, very fantastic. I was like, oh wow. Oh man, we got to see Clockwork Revolution, which was announced as a console exclusive alongside Gears of War E-Day. So many things to showcase. A little bit of something for everybody because they have the Bad Magpie, where you're a little bird. They had Join Us, which is like another little indie game, and then of course they had Elder Scrolls Online, Age of Empires, some new DLC from Doom: The Dark Ages, more DLC for Flight Simulator, and even showcasing Minecraft Dungeons 2. The end, they showcased the Call of Duty DMZ trailer, which I'm excited for. I know a lot of people didn't want to see Call of Duty at the end of the showcase like they did last year, but it really made me excited for DMZ, especially after this past year where it was really big and heavy on extraction shooters. I think this style of extraction shooter for Call of Duty is good. I've been playing recently. I tried the DMZ from Modern Warfare 2, which I've never tried before, and I was having a lot of fun. So it made me even more excited for the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 DMZ. This showcase overall, personally, I'll give it a 9. I
Okay.
really enjoyed it. I enjoyed Gears of War E-Day being exclusive, Clockwork Revolution being exclusive. Surprisingly, I think I'm gonna jump right into Senua and Persona 6. I think they had a really solid showcase.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think, as usual, Xbox has the better show of these summer showcases. For the past few years, that's been the case. Um, and I think this was one of the more important ones because there was a lot of questions that needed to be answered heading into it, because there was a lot of um rumors and speculation about what was going to happen in particular with Gears E-Day. And granted, they didn't go into specifics. They said that they weren't gonna go in too much about strategy at this showcase, but this is a sign of things to come, because obviously after the showcase they did a bunch of interviews, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But this was basically Xbox putting their flag in the sand and basically saying that they're in it for the long haul, they're not going anywhere, and they're doubling down on the platform. And I think that's what ultimately Xbox fans wanted to see. Granted, they still showed PlayStation logos, but they did address that and say that they're gonna adjust. I don't know what that means, but they're gonna adjust the marketing on that stuff. And I get why they did it. But in my personal opinion, I think they need to focus on the Xbox platform first before they start promoting other brands. But I mean, we went over that in a previous episode. But anyway, um, yeah, overall, I thought this was a good show, and it got me hyped. I'm friggin' playing Gears again. I'm probably I may play Gears. I don't know if I'll play. Maybe I'll play Reloaded again. Um, with my brother, because he also saw the showcase and he was talking about Gears and he wants to get back into it. So maybe we'll play again um through the story together in co-op. Um but yeah, everything that I saw there, if I was at least interested in it. And I think that's the main takeaway. There wasn't anything I felt, well, except maybe, what was it, the bird game?
That was
That
the
one,
Magpie.
the Magpie, I was like, okay, maybe not."
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
um,
But that's what I said. Like there was something for everybody.
yeah, there is something for everybody, and it didn't feel like they were leaning too much into, one particular thing. I did say in the stream that, like, I'm not the biggest fan of putting Call of Duty at the end, because I feel like Call of Duty doesn't need that spot. Like, Call of Duty, they honestly, they probably, well, because they did it, what was it, Black Ops 6, right? They did the direct for Black Ops
Yeah.
6. That was fine, but that was also, like, it was at a time where that was the biggest game coming out that year. So, obviously, that's not, I mean, it's debatable, but I mean,
In
um,
hindsight.
in hindsight, it may have not been, but at least this year the focus was on Gears. So that's obviously why they chose Gears to be the direct this year. But I feel like maybe they could have just done a separate thing for it. Like maybe the next day they could have done a deep dive on DMZ and have the trailer there. Like I don't think it needs to be, or if they're gonna do it, maybe they should have opened the show with it. Like why did it need to end the show? Like that's my main thing. Like and that's what bugged me about the I guess honestly, I felt like if we're gonna compare the state of play ending with God of War Laufe was better off ending it with that than Xbox ending it with. Well, I guess they didn't end it with Call of Duty. They ended it with the direct, but at least the show itself ended it with Call of Duty, and I feel like that. I don't know. It didn't sit right with me. Not that I hated it, but I feel like that could have gone to a better. That could have been a better spot for something else.
What
I
do
don't
you
know
mean
what that
didn't
would have been.
sit right? Just
I
change
know,
your
maybe-
position. It's
maybe-
Call of Duty. You're gonna
It
buy
doesn't need
it.
to
You're gonna
sell.
play
It
it.
doesn't need to sell. Call of Duty's gonna sell itself. Why did you need to put that there? It's the same
No.
reason. Yes.
No. And they put it there because it's an Xbox game. It's coming on Xbox, PC. It's coming everywhere, but it's coming out on Xbox. Xbox owns it. That's why they put it there, to remind you that the best place to play Call of Duty is on Xbox. All right, that's why they put it there.
Depends on what you mean by best.
Shh, we're not talking about that. Well, listen.
Right.
People always say like, "Oh, PC is the best place to play," but like 70% of PCs are like not as good
Well,
as like a Series X or PS5. So
I will say
know?
that the console numbers for Call of Duty they outpace PC. Like I'm gonna be real. At least on Steam. I don't know the BattleNet numbers. But ever since they put the games on Steam, in comparison, I think they just released, not just released, but because PlayStation added a feature where you can see how many people are playing this particular game. Like I think it's like 4 million people were playing on PlayStation Call of Duty, just on PlayStation. And then if you look on the Steam, it's like 1 million, 2 million maybe.
1, 2. Ooh.
But it's a lot of people on consoles, what I'm saying. So it's like
yeah, for sure.
For
sure.
It shouldn't be counted out on console.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not. What we did forget to say that Where Winds Meet was announced to be playable on Xbox,
Right.
as well as some new hardware they announced, the 25th anniversary Xbox Series X25, which is a translucent all green Xbox where it says Xbox 25 on the front. It looks fantastic. It looks really cool. And the really cool thing that they did after the showcase live in the theater, because it was a live show, Asha Sharma came out on stage and she basically said, "How was that show? You know, we're working on exclusives, as you saw." And then she said, "If your badge has a fan badge, you will be getting the Xbox X25 anniversary edition of the console for free later the year when it comes out." And the whole crowd erupted. Now, there was media, there was influencers, but then only the people with the fan badge, they're the ones who got the console for free, which is really dope, really cool. So it's not like it's gonna be a bunch of media people getting this for free. It's only for the fans. And for anybody saying, "Oh, the fans are influencers," well, they did a raffle and like a contest to get tickets in order to get in here as a fan. So it's not like it was like influencers, you know. Yeah, it was just actual fans of Xbox who were going to be in LA and stuff, you know. So it's really cool to see that they did that for the fans.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I'm highly tempted to get that green Xbox. And it was funny because I just like was scrolling because they have the store page or whatever, and I was scrolling just to look at it, and my wife glances over at me and she says no. And I was like, I wasn't even doing anything. I was just looking.
That was enough. That was enough. She was like, "Why are you playing me? I know what you're doing."
I mean, even if I do I'm not gonna keep my original Xbox Series X. I'm gonna sell that shit and get something off.
You know what you should do? Sell it to your brother so you guys play Gears E Day together.
Well, he already has the Gears, or he has a Series S. So
now it'll be better with Series X. Nah.
I mean, maybe. but yeah, it looks really good. I remember a lot of people wanting them to do this, and it seemingly felt like they weren't, but they did it. So awesome, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of it. If anything, if I do get something, it's definitely gonna be that controller though.
The controller looks sick. Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
But if I were to purchase that controller, I wouldn't even want to use it.
I know, that's
know?
the thing too.
And I
Not
hate to
true.
get something that I don't even want to use.
You have to use it, brother. You have to.
I know,
Well,
but then it gets stick drift, and then I'm gonna cry.
You can get it. Stitch trick is fixable. Stop making.
I'm still gonna cry.
Doesn't matter if I can fix it. The tears will. See, you sound like me last night. Get it together.
Oh man. So I mean, overall, I thought the showcase was great. I gave it an 8.5, almost a 9. It would have been almost perfect if they didn't have like the magpie in there.
Yeah,
It's rough.
honestly, yeah.
But other than that, it was really, really good showcase. I was surprised by Senua, surprised by Spyro, State of Decay 3. It looks like State of Decay 2, so I was a little worried about that, but I'm still interested in it. And I was really excited for everything they showed. I'm super excited. Obviously, because I brought Gears right away, it was no brainer for me. I'm buying it. So yeah, that was all from Xbox.
It was a good show.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Was Spyro not originally a PlayStation exclusive?
It
was.
was.
Okay.
It's Insomniac is the one who started it.
Yeah.
God
Yeah.
damn, it's Insomniac thing.
Yeah,
My bad.
Insomniac is the one who started it, like, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago, maybe? Who knows? It's been so long.
Oh, you wanna know what I was like, wasn't Naughty Dog? And I was like, nope, that was Crash. I
No,
remember
that was
now.
Crash.
Yeah.
I got it.
Which
I thought-
there's rumors that there is another Crash game coming.
I figured they were gonna make another one. They made a Spyro, and if my memory serves me correct, there's also a new Rayman.
Yes,
Rayman
the
coming
yeah,
out
the
as
Rayman,
well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
there's
remake.
Crash is definitely coming out eventually.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the return of platformers, apparently.
That's good. They're fun games.
It's like, yeah, they're
Now,
fantastic. What's the
all
problem
we
here?
need is Banjo.
All
You know
end
damn
the
well we're
show
not
right
getting Banjo.
now.
Stop
End
playing.
it.
It's not happening. We're not getting Banjo. It's not coming anytime soon.
Damn Banjo Bros.
Jeez.
Let's move on before we keep attacking producer Jay. We have the Nintendo Direct, which I was surprised by. I didn't know they were gonna do a Direct this season. Well, I'm glad they did. They started out strong. I like the Rhythm Heaven games. They're really fun. So to see they're getting a new Rhythm Heaven groove for Nintendo Switch 2 was cool to see. They showcase a bunch of games that are coming that we've seen throughout Summer Game Fest and even on the State of Play that's coming to the Switch 2, like Onimusha. We have Dragon's Dogma coming to Switch 2 as well. We have Stellar Blade. A lot of things coming. We got to see Rayman Legends retold coming to Switch 2. They have a One Piece Grand Gourmet game, which kind of looks like it looks really good. It's like what's that cooking game where
Is it
like you
Cooking
just
Mama?
Yes,
Look,
but
the
One
one-
Piece with a One Piece skin on it. So
Yeah.
looks really good. They showcase a new Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, which looks really cool. They showcased a new Donkey Kong Bonanza Mario content for the 40th anniversary for Super Mario Brothers. The Jujutsu Kaisen game, The Lives of P is coming to Switch 2. Devil May Cry 5. They showed a ton of games, including Xenoblade Genesis, a new Wii Sports, the Wii Sports Resorts, which when playing in the Wii, I loved Wii Sports. It was so much fun. So this looks just as good, just as fun. They showcase a little bit more about Star Fox and a free demo you can play. They showcase Final Fantasy Renaissance, as well as some surprises. They showcase the what was the collection for Kingdom Hearts that we talked about earlier.
that I ranted about.
You ranted about. And then right after, the Kingdom Hearts 4 reveal, as well as some gameplay from it. And surprisingly, it looked really good. And I was like, wow, this looks really good for being on a Switch 2. And I was like, man, this was really good. The big surprise for me was at the end, where they announced The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake. And this
Supposedly it's coming this year.
yeah, supposedly this year, no official date, release date, but they said this year, and I was extremely surprised. I'm super excited because Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time is probably my all-time favorite game ever created ever. I loved it playing on a Nintendo 64, and to see it being remade for the modern consoles, it's nostalgia bait 1000%, but it got me. I'm so happy that my last company I worked for gave me a Switch 2. So I don't have to buy a Switch 2 to play this, because if I didn't have one, I would 100% buy a Switch 2 just to play the Ocarina of Time remake. 100%. I know it sounds crazy to some people, but
That
I
is
would do
crazy.
it.
It's not.
It's
not crazy.
Thank you, brother Tay. Thank
Not
you.
crazy. Because
It's
I
crazy.
bought a Switch. I bought a Switch to play Mario Odyssey, so I don't want to hear nothing.
That's one thing I'm surprised that they didn't show would be a new Mario. You know, which like you would think.
No.
I
But
Why?
There was
I
two
think-
reasons.
Yeah, I think
only-
it's
You
not
go, bro,
ready.
Bishop.
I
Well-
don't think it's ready. I think they want to have time. I think they want to kind of hit the double whammy. And I think the biggest thing that they could do for this year, at least, is have a Zelda game. And this one, in case, is like the remake of one of the more popular Zelda games. I think if they're gonna release, well, I would expect at least by next year we would know that there is another Mario game and another Smash Bros. Game. Because I think that they gotta hit those early on. Even if they don't release next year, we gotta know that they're coming. Because I think next year is gonna be critical for Nintendo to sell the Switch 2. Because that's when everybody's already talking about the PS6 and Helix and stuff like that. So if they want to get some leg room and not be outshined by everybody else, although Nintendo, they don't really have that problem, considering that they're trying to be more third party friendly, and they're I want to say a side point that this direct, a lot of it, and in previous directs as well, a lot of it is just games that were already announced or already released, but now they're coming to Switch or Switch 2.
Yeah.
And I think that's the sign that Nintendo is like taking third parties seriously, because before they used to just skip it entirely. And now they're coming back. So I think it's going to be crucial going forward to make it so that way there is a reason to port those games to the Switch 2, because now these next gen consoles are going to be way more powerful. So it's going to be a lot harder to. I mean, we already heard about stories regarding like the Series S, and granted, I'm sure the Switch also had issues as well. It's just nobody ever bothered to port games to the Switch, or when they did, they talked about how hard it was. So I think the Switch 2 is going to run into that situation. Maybe not as bad, because it does have the what is it, the DLSS, to kind of like bridge that gap, so it helps developers to make their games at least look as good, even if it's not running as good on the hardware itself. So I think now is the time where they're going to want to have something to sell the Switch 2 for. And I think they're going to need that Mario. They're going to need that Smash Bros.
I was gonna say, when you have something, because remember, a lot of people consider Ocarina of Time to be one of the greatest video games
Of all time, yeah.
of all time. And I remember when the Mario Switch, when the Switch came out, remember that's when they were like, "Oh, we're releasing this thing." It was Mario Odyssey. I remember they had the collection that was the 3 Mario games together, which was Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy, right? If my memory serves me correct.
Yes.
So I think that's why they didn't do that, because like one, they already had a loaded enough. They had a low enough state of event when you were going to release Odyssey of Time, Ocarina of Time, and then Kingdom Hearts, you already knew you were going to get the crowd going for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, well, because even when the Switch 2 or the Switch 1 was released, it came out with Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild. Granted, Breath of the Wild was on the Wii U, but they delayed it so that it can coincide with the Switch launch. So that way
Yeah.
people would buy it for the Switch, even if it ran the same on the Wii U, but nobody had a Wii U. So
Yeah.
so I think they can do that again, but with a Mario game and a Smash Bros game, because they already got Mario
Also-
Kart out the way.
Also, to answer you about, I wanted to say about the Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers might not be coming. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You think so? You think they're gonna skip, or maybe not for a long time? Is what you're saying?
I'm saying for a long time because remember when they did the last Smash Brothers. Remember the person
supposed to
who the
be
creator of it
alternate.
didn't want to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
He got tricked into it because they just announced it, and he was like, "Mother, now I got to do it."
Not so. What I think is because they let. I mean, granted, I have no idea. This is just me guessing. I think they're letting. What was it? Damn, what's his name? It's not Noruma. No, that's Kingdom Hearts or Square Enix. Sakurai. Yeah, he's the one who does the Smash Bros game. I think they made him an offer for Smash Bros, a new Smash Bros, and he said, "You got to let me make a game that I want to make first." And then that's how we got Kirby Air Riders, because he developed that too.
Oh, okay. So if that was the deal, then we might get it, but maybe not for
I'm
another
assuming
year.
that's the deal, because why else would they re-release Kirby Air Riders?
Probably. But also, let's see what else. What else is he gonna put in there? Because remember how many DLC characters? How many characters were in the last one?
That's gonna be the test, because like, what else can you do that it hasn't been done?
We was thrown off when they bought Sephiroth and Cloud, and then they were
Sephiroth
like, you
and-
know what? How about Riku and Ken? I'm like, wait a minute, wait.
No, then they brought the main one, which was Sora.
They bought Sora. They bought what was it? Terry. There was a lot going on in that series. I'm like, there's a lot happening here.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the direct was, if you're a Nintendo fan, you eating good. I'm not that big into Nintendo games. There's a few I like, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to get one for anything that they showed here. I mean, that's just me. I don't know.
That's fair. You're not really a big Nintendo fan, you know what I'm saying? I understand that. I think next year maybe we'll see some more about the Pokemon. Maybe we'll see more
Yeah, we know
about
that Pokemon is coming next year, so
yeah, but I'm saying we'll see more about it like in the next
Yes.
direct, you know, and we'll see more about other games. Maybe we'll see more Mario next year, you know, to compete with the Helix, like you said, and the PS6. Overall, it was still a decent show. I would give it at least a 7. Just off of Ocarina of Time alone.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm
it
sure
was-
a lot will agree with you.
yeah. I mean, they probably thought it was amazing if they're super hardcore Nintendo fans. And I don't play Nintendo that much, so I mostly play for Pokemon games and some Mario games.
I'm the
So
same
when
way.
when I saw this, I was like, I booted it up right away, and I realized I needed to pay like $75 to become a family member with the expansion pack to play Wind Waker again. I was like, oh
yeah.
no. But yeah, it was a decent showing from Nintendo, and overall Summer Game Fest / Dead E3, I gave it like a solid 7 this year. It was good. It had some good showcases. You had I maybe a 7.5. I give it 7.5. State of Play brought it down a little bit.
Yeah, fair.
Jesus.
But
Jesus.
but
Like
overall, yeah, I know. Overall, it was good showcases and good times to be a gamer.
Yes, definitely a lot to look forward to.
Yeah. Do you want to get into the Xbox stuff or?
Yeah, we can. It's fine. We'll keep it brief.
I don't know how brief it's gonna be. Well, after the showcase season comes, the rake must be stepped on. Xbox steps on a rake
Yes.
after some good showcases, and they talk about the business side of things and what could be coming down the line. And the headlines read from Bloomberg: Xbox plans significant layoffs as new CEO plans overhaul a sort of Xbox reset. I say that with air quotes. You can't see me, but yeah, air
Yeah.
quotes. The gonna be some hard times coming to Xbox as they sort of reset and rethink the business on how to make it profitable again, how to steer the ship in the right direction. They started, of course, with the exclusives. I'm sure it's going to be uphill battle for not just the Xbox, though, for any tech industry, considering the RAM shortage and memory shortage that's going on right now. So it's going to be an uphill battle for anybody. Of course, everybody has to focus on the negative with the Xbox tax. Yes, I'm saying it here. It's real. It's been real. Xbox tax is out there, and they can't have a good day like they did on Sunday without stepping on the rake and all the gaming media just coming out and pouring more shit on top of them.
To be fair, a lot of this was brought on by Xbox themselves.
Yes, but I mean, you see, you get these things where like they want to be open and transparent, right? But like you're like a $3 trillion company, right? We
Mhm.
don't need to know the ins and outs and day to day of what's going on behind the scenes. Sony doesn't do that. Nintendo, they
No.
don't do that. They don't come out and say, "Hey, we're gonna do massive layoffs, so here's the hard truths." No, they just do it and they shut up. They don't say anything. They don't tell anybody anything. They're
You
like,
want
"Listen, we're
them?
gonna do what we're gonna do," and that's it.
You want them to follow the example of Sony?
No,
'Cause
but
Sony,
go ahead.
no, because then you gotta remember Sony does the same thing WWE does randomly. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, we just laid these people off." All right,
Yes.
next day.
But
Right.
you see how quickly the news cycle, it's like, hey, Sony laid off this studio, and then nobody ever talks about it again. But this is now 2 weeks after the showcase, and these interviews coming out, and people are still talking about it. People are still going over the bad news at Xbox, and now they're saying Xbox is dead. That's it. It's done. They're talking about Xbox spinning off into its own separate company away from Microsoft. They're talking about
So
running ads and stuff. It's just like no matter what Xbox does, if they're open and transparent, it's a negative. If they're not open and transparent, it's a negative. No matter what Xbox does, it's a negative. So why keep doing it? Just fuck it. Do what you gotta do. That's it. It's out there. It's done. Forget about it.
Forget about it.
forget about it. No, so I think a lot of this. So in past times where when Phil and Sarah were in charge, um, they wouldn't really be upfront about negative news. Like, yes, they'll address it and say, "Hey, this is happening," but then that's it. They wouldn't go like talking about it in interviews. And I mean, we got that one Phil Spencer interview, but that was just happenstance, because they had already scheduled it. I think it was with Kind of Funny, and then the whole thing with Redfall happened, and then Starfield got delayed and all this stuff, and then like the negative news started pouring, and then Phil Spencer still did the interview, and that's when we got like all the stuff with that. But that was the only time he really like addressed it head on and blatantly. And I think maybe Asha looked at that and said, "Okay, maybe we have to do that in order to kind of not let the speculation run wild." But the problem is that I don't think you can do that because it's just gonna happen regardless. The So she did an interview about like just the business in general, and she said a bunch of stuff. I'm not gonna like go into quotes right now, but um she essentially said that the business is not healthy and that there's gonna be changes, and they have to basically reset the business. That's what she said. That was her words. She's gonna
Yeah.
reset the business. And then they put out an Xbox Wire post about it, detailing like what needs to happen. Obviously, she didn't say layoffs are gonna happen, but it kind of like led to that being the case. It hasn't happened yet because the fiscal year isn't up. It's up in July, and
Yeah.
that's when the rumored layoffs are supposed to happen. But they want to let people know that something is happening and there's going to be a restructuring in place. And that is when all the speculation just like went crazy. And part of
I
me
mean,
thinks that they probably told Asha, because she's been very like vocal on social media and like to address this stuff. And on the one hand, it's kind of cool that a CEO is gonna like address like false information or at least acknowledge what people are saying about it. But I think maybe they told her it's like you probably don't want to do this for this this time because it's gonna be a shit show. Um, the whole thing about Xbox being spun off and this, and that being sold potentially or whatever, like, I don't think that happened recently. I think what probably is the likely scenario, and there was an article that was posted about it, but naturally it's paywalled, and I'm not gonna fucking pay. Actually, I looked into it because I was very curious about what was actually said. Because a lot of times people they they post stuff verbatim, but
Yeah.
they don't it's like it's not exactly what they said. So I wanted to read it for myself, and the freaking article, you had to pay $200 to
Damn.
read the article. Yeah.
Jesus.
You have to buy the subscription, but it was only available annually. You can't pay month to month. Yeah, it was ridiculous. So anyway, I didn't read the article. I just read like the synopsis or whatever. But without reading that, I'm going to assume that these discussions about what's going to happen with Xbox, if it's going to be spun off, if it's going to be sold off, whatever, likely happened when Phil said he was going to retire. And that makes sense because Phil was the one, at least maybe in Xbox's eyes or Microsoft's eyes, just to say, was the one who kind of revived the brand from almost getting shuttered way back when.
Mm.
And he did his best to, I mean, granted, he had a lot of unreal expectations to meet, but he did his best and he saved it from dying back then. So I think they questioned the viability of Xbox without him. Because like if he's not going to be in charge, who is? And a lot of people say Sarah Bond, but based off of interviews that she's had and stuff that's come out since their departure, it seemed like Sarah Bond was not well liked in Microsoft. I don't know what caused it. I don't know why, but that's seemingly the case. So I don't think she was ever in consideration, at least from Microsoft themselves, to be the heir apparent for Xbox. But I think they did consider spinning off Xbox into either something entirely, maybe selling it off to another third-party company, or making it a subsidiary, which is like what LinkedIn is and what Skype was, or GitHub.
Damn, I haven't heard that
Um,
name in a minute.
Yeah. So it would basically like run itself. Microsoft would still be the owner, but they wouldn't have direct say. They would still have majority ownership and stake, but
Mhm.
Xbox would have its own investors, its own deals, its own, basically it would run itself. And that was what people were like kind of like speculating about, like, oh, is this gonna happen? Like, no, this is not happening. This is not what's gonna happen. At least not anytime soon. I think they discussed it and they gave Asha a chance to fix the ship. And then so far, it seems like she's getting a lot of wins, but she's also being brutally honest about what needs to happen going forward. And we're obviously gonna see what that means. But like I said earlier, the Gears E-Day and Clockwork Revolution being exclusive to Xbox, it's still coming to PC, but at least being a console exclusive to Xbox should be the sign of what is to come. I think we are going to see more exclusives. I think we're going to see more of a re-emphasis on Xbox as a platform. Maybe not as a console, because I think they're not trying to focus too much on the console, because Asha said it herself that it's I mean, she kind of threw shade at the previous management, but she said based on their decisions, it's not physically possible to manufacture consoles fast enough to meet demand. And they realize that. So I think they're trying to right the ship in time for when Helix launches, and that's going to be the new starting point for Xbox.
It's
So-
also really hard to do that though, especially with the RAM and the memory shortage.
that
Like
is
there's
also true.
there's a lot of like stuff outside of the Microsoft business on the inside, turmoil. That's riding against not just Xbox, PlayStation, even PCs, like PC parts. Every industry that's in tech is getting hit hard. We're talking about phones, even so Samsung, Apple. It's gonna be tough for every piece of tech industry to get their hands on the components that they need to bring out hardware. So it's not exclusive to Xbox. It's just that Xbox is more vocal about what's gonna happen or what could happen because of it.
Yeah, then they're telling us now, so that way we're not surprised. But yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff up in the air for right now, as at least when it comes to hardware. So I think them committing to the like I said, the Xbox reset or return to Xbox is what they said initially, that they're gonna do what is necessary. And I think that's what we need. I know Phil Spencer, he did at least a good job in the beginning, but towards the end, he made a lot of sacrifices that ultimately he thought would pay off, and it never did. He was I'm assuming he was the one who thought he could get PlayStation to reciprocate putting games on other platforms, and they kind of did. They started putting games on PC, and then they even bought Helldivers 2 to Xbox. And that was like, whoa, that would never happen in a million years, people thought. But it happened. And then Sony decided to pull back on it. At least we think. They never officially said anything about it, but yeah. I think he thought he could change the business to benefit them, and he just couldn't. So now
he tried.
he tried. No, I'm giving him all the props for trying, but
Yeah.
it didn't pay off, and I don't think he wanted to wait another freaking 10 years to see if he can try again. And that's probably what led to Satya getting involved, especially after ABK, because it became more crucial for Xbox to be profitable, and he just wasn't up to the task, and I don't blame him. It's a fucking I can't imagine working for someone like Satya and Amy Hood, who are like hounding you about this stuff, and then you just want to make fun games for gamers. Like, imagine that. But yeah,
How dare you? We're here for profit, damn it! It's with you people trying to make friends. I don't understand you.
But yeah, at least Asha, she's taking it head on, and only time will tell what actually happens. But she's very clear that the next 100 days is about resetting the Xbox business. What that is, we have yet to see, but we will see it in the next 100 days.
We will. I mean, that's all we have for the news for this week. It was a lot to get through with all the showcases and everything. So that was everything.
Cool. We got through it.
It's hot.
Yeah, it's hot outside. Stay indoors if you can. Well, with that being said, just want to remind you, if you're watching us on YouTube, you can like, comment, and subscribe. If you're listening to us on a podcasting app, you can share us, rate us, do all that nice stuff. If you look in the description, you can see our sponsors, W Energy, NordVPN. Save some money off our products and subscriptions. And if you support them, they'll support us. We thank them, and we'll thank you. And
Yeah,
that's
help
it.
us feed.
Yes,
Thank
help
you
us.
so-
help us
feed us. We're in a recovery mode as the city has been utterly messed up from the fires. We don't talk about it.
The fires that we started.
Who said that? No light on
wasn't
it.
me.
We'll see you guys next week.
Keep telling you, I was not there. There's no proof.
Laters.
Bye. Let's go, Nick.